Our websites in this particular form, that's kind of how we kind of start part of the design process. I'm not going to make you backlight me, okay?
Good. I'm going to green screen you, is what I'm going to do. Wait till I put you, see what I put you in front of.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, you go, baby.
So, Nathan Smith with WebMade Local. We are a two-person web design agency, social media agency, just marketing, basically digital marketing here in Red Bluff. We are constantly trying to put lipstick on a pig. All you guys complaining, yeah, we're trying to come up with cool posts that are fun and exciting for all that kind of stuff, and just focus on all the fun, positive stuff that you guys do. But today, I would like to talk about website design. It's been around for, at this point, what seems like forever. Everyone probably has a website. It's gotten to the point where you can definitely design your own website. A lot of people are doing that. And we're also getting to the point where social media and some of these other networks out there are seeming to become a lot more relevant than that website, that business card that you have on the web. And that is definitely true for some businesses. Some businesses are just not probably going to generate leads from their website, at least in Red Bluff. That's kind of sad to say, because I love web design. But we try to be realistic, and we try to be very upfront with what's practical and what makes sense for a business that is in this town. Because you're not trying to, you know, draw a net through 100,000 potential customers in some larger metropolitan area. You probably know all of your customers in person, so they're not going to probably find you on the web. Unless your business is specifically focused on like a service-based industry that needs to gather customers constantly. You always need new ones. So if you need volumes of customers and you are constantly needing to replenish your store of customers, be it mortgages or plumbing jobs or solar, those are all good examples of a time when probably the person looking for those services is going to be doing a quick Google search. They're going to see what comes up on the top of the list, and they're going to click call. So that's where your website comes into play. I like to think of your website as sort of a backbone for your entire online presence. It should be sort of the source of all of your great content, whether it be from your blog or whether it be the products and services you guys offer. Flowers, for example, would be another good example. With it being a backbone of your marketing services, it can allow you to have an easier time doing social media. For example, if you can just go to your website and say, oh, I've got this great resource available here, go check it out. Go shop for houses, on our website, That keeps people in your camp. And with the real estate option, unlike sending them off to, realtor.com, where it's like, okay, now you're going back into the sea of competition. If you can provide those resources or that information on your own website, and people can stop and take time to look at your website and learn about your company, then that's going to be a win for two reasons. One, the time they spend on your site through Google magic will translate into more people seeing your site if they're looking for a service. So Google will go, man, people love looking at those pictures and reading those tidbits about this or the tips and tricks, and they will go, so obviously the next time someone's looking for something like that, I'm going to prioritize that website. And the other reason is because if people go to your website and they are impressed by your first impression, which is often what it would be, your first impression, then it is much more likely that you are going to generate an actual lead. Someone's going to actually fill out a contact form, reach out to you and say, hey, I've never actually met you, but I totally recognize you because you sponsored that baseball team and you are on the little billboards or you're on the grocery store. I recognize all that marketing you're doing, and I saw you in a Google search. So that was like a win-win. I was like, them, okay? So because of those two reasons, we put a lot of energy into creating a website. We understand, much like with our video production services, you can do it yourself. Everyone's got a phone, everyone's got a camera, and you can very easily go online and go do it yourself website, and you can find a bunch of great tools, and a lot of those website templates are going to look great. So that's what we're kind of like comparing to. So if we're going to say, hey, pay us to do it, we really want to knock it out of the park. We want to provide something that is over and above. So when we sit down with you, one of the first things that we're doing, if you're not already a customer of ours and that we work together on a monthly basis doing marketing, is we're going to learn all about your business. We're going to learn all about the products and services you offer. We're going to learn about what makes you unique. And then we're going to try and make the website not a stagnant, boring puddle of information that is really generic and very repetitive. We're going to try and create sort of we like to think of it as an art project about your brand. It's one of the reasons we got away from, a long time ago, we got away from template design, where we just were like, template, pick one, and go. It's because the templates don't really fit necessarily with your brand. So what we're doing is we're saying, let's create a website, like the ones passing around, and let's try to get as much of our local community and you as a person or as a business into that website as we can. And make it fun and make it engaging and try not to put someone to sleep in 5 seconds, you know? Just, we don't want to focus on too much of the tedious stuff. We want to just focus on the positive stuff. Like, you're a part of the community. You do stuff. You sponsor local events. You're not some big .com faraway company. And really celebrate what you guys are as an individual business. And if we can kind of capture that and nail it and put it into a website and make it something that people will shop on, we consider that a huge win. And the final mark of success for us, for at least a lot of industries, is lead generation. Because then we're saying, hey, the website's cool, at least it is to me, or I mean, hopefully it is to you. But then we can actually say, look, factual data. People go to your website. This is how many people went there. This is how many people clicked on an ad. And then this is how many people actually filled out the lead form. And it doesn't say, do you want to order discount pens from discountpens.com. These are leads from people saying, hey, I own property in Portland. I really need a mortgage. I would like to get a manufactured home. Or I would like to get solar installed. These are all marks of measurable success, not just the subjective, oh, your website's cool. Pretty sure everyone thinks that. And those marks of measurable success are really what we check off as that is a success for that project. We don't find that out immediately. We find that out months later, maybe a year later, when we're looking at the overall number of leads that were generated by the site, or when we look at how much more effective an advertising campaign was. We're looking for those measured results. And that's one of the great things that I like about digital marketing specifically, is that we can usually measure the exact results that we're getting. We can see how many people were reached by your message, how many people clicked on it, how many people shared it, and creating things that are going to be sort of viral, at least in our community. Our version of viral is just a huge win for us. So from that, questions about web design, social media, anything?
Is there anything that you can help small businesses do that will prevent the bigger fish from, how do we say this, trampling the small fish? So what I mean by that, for example, when somebody Googles Tahima Floral Company, by my name, you would think I would pop up. Well, it turns out I'm actually second on my own list under my own name, and somebody has put in Tahima Floral Flowers, not Tahima Floral Company, and people have actually ordered from that link thinking it was me, and they're calling like, my flowers aren't there, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my goodness. And then I realized when I Googled, my heart just broke, and I feel like it is very unfair. And I don't know what to do, if anything. I don't have thousands of dollars to throw at Google, but at the same time, it is not fair.
Right.
It's wrong.
Right.
How is there anything to do?
there's definitely things you can do.
Okay.
It is not necessarily a good position to be in. For you specifically, one of the things that you're probably going to struggle with is the fact that your name is also what the search term would be anyway. Likely, if someone was actually putting together a campaign to do SEO, search engine optimization, they would actually have probably created that page anyway. Not to say that they couldn't have made the page specifically because they were like, every floral company, we're going to have a page with that name.
Sure.
That might have been their strategy too. But I think making your website extremely recognizable can help. Like if someone's ever been to your website and they know, hey, your picture's right in the front.
Right.
I recognize you. This doesn't look like just, a flower, grid of available products, right? If they're like, bam, that logo, I recognize it. Those are things that would really help. Another thing to consider is pay-per-click campaigns, like you mentioned, thousands of dollars at Google. What I like to focus on with pay-per-click, getting your name in that advertising space also, is it doesn't necessarily have to cost thousands of dollars, and probably won't. And that's specifically because if you set your campaign up correctly, you're only going to be doing that type of advertising. You're only going to be paying for those ads right here in Tehama County. And if we look at the number of people that search for flowers in Tehama County on a monthly basis, it's might be less than 100. So you wouldn't be looking at paying a lot to sort of secure that first place position in the ad space. But yeah, other than that,
Because that could be said for real estate,
Right.
lending, I'm sure, solar, I mean,
and you mentioned there's a couple of industries that are, even for a small volume, could be extremely expensive. Mortgages, solar, and plumbing are all extremely expensive, no matter how many. We could be talking $10, $15 per click that you're paying for those spaces, because it's a bidding system. And anything that 1-800.service.com can sell without a storefront representative or sales agent, they're willing to throw money at it. Real estate, Zillow, they're willing to pay just gobs of money. Amazon is going to be willing to pay tons of money. They don't have any staff, that are doing anything here. So that's definitely, a frustrating point. But consider looking at bidding out for ad space. See if that works.
thank you.
Any questions?
I've always wanted to understand, and I've never actually sat down with you guys, excuse me, the blog component of the website.
Right.
You set it up, but I've never really played with it or know how that should interact with, say, the Facebook site. It seems like, and I know part of this is me because I didn't know how to do Facebook at all. Nate has helped me learn that. But the Facebook has kind of become the main focus of where we communicate on a regular basis, Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
And to me, I thought the blog component of a website should kind of integrate with that somehow.
Right. So in a really idealistic scenario, it does. What we've kind of done over the last several years, just this transition we've looked at, is in terms of seeing the value of what we get out of it, right? When we're looking at what we used to do a lot more blog article writing, for example, with a marketing budget. And that was because of mostly search engine optimization. So we kind of from the beginning knew not that many people are going to your blog and reading your articles. I know that's a bummer, but that's the fact, and we can't avoid those facts because they're right in our face. How many people looked at this blog? 5. Okay, well, one of those was probably the business owner, one of them was me, and the other one was a Google bot, so.
So the question is kind of more, is the blog antiquated in this age?
So it's not entirely, but when the only reason you're doing a blog post article, the main reason, is to gain that Google rank increase, like Google sees my website's active and alive, then the value becomes less so than like saying, hey, I've got a great user base and people love reading this stuff and people talk to me all the time about it and it's very engaging. So for us, we have just decided that for most businesses, the priority shift should be social media because people are already on there. You're not having to draw someone away, to go to your site to check it out, and they can definitely integrate. but we just see a lower return on investment with blog post articles. And but depending on the budget, depending on what you're doing, it can still fit into a plan, a marketing plan, for sure.
Speaking to Bianca's question, I think if you do a shorter blog post, make a really interesting title for it, like something that, oh, what is this about? Even like one of those mystery titles, like what you should know before you go out in July or whatever, and then put that on your Facebook page. That will make people click through, and then put it on NSPN, and then we all share, and more people will come. And but short and sweet, lots of pictures, great title.
Sounds good.
For those long format things, they can still be appeal, and definitely something we should discuss. Any questions about digital marketing? Anything?
If you look at Nathan and Heather built a great website for this last park, and we did actually integrate social media within our website as well. And I had originally wanted to do a blog because I'm kind of a storyteller, but they talked me into integrating the social media instead, and it's great. I love it. I love how my social media posts just automatically update onto the website. So that's great.
And that another thing too, we find that we're not big advocates of Twitter because no one uses it here, so there is no character limit. Well, I mean, there probably is, but it's pretty big, probably longer than a blog post. So you can do long format writing on Facebook, and likely net more engagement. We find that Facebook prioritizes the content that originates on the site, and they have less motivation to share something that's going to take someone away from their site. So, like we were talking about, keeping those events on Facebook, well, they're more engaging, we have more tools there, we can connect better than we can with a blog. So, still, it's a component that we definitely utilize when it's appropriate. Questions? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
That's why I was late.